Hi, Professor. I am sharing my screen and I am recording my digital narrative one mapping of the school community video. I'm focusing on determining the boundaries of the school community and the landmarks that shape the students' everyday life. So, starting off strong, I have the location of my school, my job, where I work, where I dedicate most of all my time. When I zoom out on the map and go to my key features, I have Watts Tower, which is it? It's not it. Yep, I have the Watts Tower landmark right about here. Zoom out a little bit, and then I'm gonna zoom in so I can see it exactly. There we go. There we go. Which is very historical. It's a symbol of culture, resilience, and creativity. Which takes me into the Watts Tower Station, which is going to be found. Where's my little arrow? Here it is. I have the Watchtower Station here, which is one of the transportation services that most students and parents in my area take. Um, which is plays a big role in how families move in the neighborhood, especially those who rely on public transportation. So then I have another key feature landmark, which is Jordan High School. Now, the reason why Jordan High School is, I'm going to zoom out and get a better view of Jordan High School. There we go, which I drive by almost every day, which many of my students are expected to attend once they graduate from middle school. Because of that, Jordan High School isn't just a future school, it's already a familiar presence in the student's life. They walk by it, they talk about it, and they often have family or friends who go there. As I move closer into the surrounding neighborhoods, I am going to jump into the Willowbrook Rosa Park Station. I want to zoom out a little bit. Right across the street, there is a skate park. If I can find it on the maps, let me try to find a better view. I was just looking at it. Oh, here it is. Let me exit out. Okay, this area right here, it's really important because many of my students spend a lot of time here skating, hanging out, or just watching others skate. It is a shared community space, and it shows how learning and development doesn't just happen in the classroom or at home. It happens in our social environments because right across the street there is the Willowbrook Rosa Park Station, which is where we see a lot of families, students walking home. Walking routes really matter because parents are often seen walking their children around these areas. Now, one of the most prominent areas is Grape Street, which I have colored purple here. This is important because right across the street where I labeled this red area at, let me get a better angle. There it is. And here's some other areas where I'm able to get lunch sometimes, not all the time because I usually pack a lunch, but let me zoom out and get a better view. Right here, here is our Grape Street, and directly across the street are the Jordan Downs, which is where a lot of the students were living. But now it's currently undergoing significant gentrification, which is changing the physical landscape. As you can see, I'll zoom in a little bit more so you can see how terrific the changes, which is changing the landscape, impacting families and who have lived here for generations while new buildings and renovations are being introduced. Many of the residents face uncertainty as they are pushed out with housing instability, displacement, and affordability. This has shifted the focus in of the students emotionally and academically, even if it is not always visible, which leaves an impact on us teachers because we understand what they are going through. Sorry. When I widen the map a little further, you can see the community of my own home. Let's see. Oopsie. Let me try to zoom in, then zoom all the way out. Let's pull this down. This is the community of my own home here. I'll try to zoom in a little bit more. This drive is about like 25 to 30 minutes away, which helps me reflect on the daily routes that I take, right? Everything that I'm driving through, different parts of the city. Along these routes are major housing communities like, let me see, we have the Nickerson Gardens here, we have the Imperial Courts, um, and the Jordan Downs, which are being renovated. These are not just places students live or that I just live. These are places that family, culture, and identities have been formed. Which brings me to another important key feature or area that is a critical space for the students, and that is Ted Walking's Ted Watkins Park. Let me zoom in on that. Now, this park is very significant because this is where many students play sports and dedicate a lot of time of their lives. It holds a lot of importance because these extracurriculars are taken very serious by the students. They train, compete, attend championships. They invite us teachers, staff, and this builds their discipline, confidence, and strong sense of pride because we know if, they're not doing well in school, then we can just call their coach and just let them know like, hey, let's focus on academics. Can we have your support? The coach always helps us straighten out the kids, which really is a great impact for the young men in our community because they really take pride and joy in the sport that they play and their coach. And then finally, I just want to zoom in on the food options, which are local spots. Let me see. Right over here in this shopping center. We have Starbucks, we got The Habit, we have Nike here. This is the parking lot that I also drive through almost every day. I don't always eat out, which is very rare for me to eat any of these things because I usually pack a home cooked meal. But these are parts of my daily life and reflect on the culture of the neighborhood and the gentrification that has been going on because this is all fairly new. But it does offer affordable options that the students recognize and talk about daily. I even saw some of my students in like a Smart and Fido nearby. But overall, mapping these boundaries show that the school's community extend farther beyond the campus itself, and it includes landmarks, housing, transportation, recreation, food, family routines, and all which deeply influence the students' everyday life. Thank you for listening. Bye bye, Professor.